Hi, I'm Casey, your business buddy. Have we all been doing? Have your practices been coming on? Like I'll always tell you, endeavor to put to practice the things that you learn on this platform. For the ones you do not understand, do not hesitate to drop a question. For the ones you would want to contribute something about, do not also hesitate to comment. Others can learn from your contribution. Remember that as an entrepreneur, one of the things that sets you apart is the fact that you're practicing. It's not theoretical for you. In your day-to-day activities, you put into action many of the things that we talk about, many of the things that we share. In today's session of Start Small, Grow Big, we'll look at something that is critical to your business, and that's the people you work with. So today we're saying hire to fire is dumb. You know your business. Many times you talk to small business owners, they say, I know these things are the tips of my fingers. But once you're not a solopreneur and you have added an extra person to your business, it's important that the person has the same energy, the same zeal, the same enthusiasm, the same knowledge you have about that business. Or better still, that the person feels the same way you feel about the business. Your efforts has to be at par. It's not ideal that you begin to have weak links in the chain. So I have observed that most small businesses, though this is their wish, but they jeopardize the entire need because of the process. When you hire without second thoughts, or when you hire in some of the ways I'll be describing today, you're hiring to fire. So I've even heard people say, well, if that team member, if that staff is not good enough, would simply fire. And so today I'm saying hire to fire is dumb. When you hire someone and you think if the person does not deliver, you would also be quick to fire. It's not ideal. You would have wasted time, you would have wasted money, and oftentimes your reputation is at stake. So let's look at some of those things that you need to rework how you do them. Number one, stop hiring like big firms. You're a small business. You do not have the resources at their disposal. So what are some of the things that they do? To hire, they request for a CV. Is that wrong? I hear you say. No, it's not. But for a small business, I would say create your own CV. Why waste time? So you have people coming to an interview and you're asking questions that you should have gotten before they got there. You should have gotten some of those answers before they got there. So I would say create your own CV. What are the things that are important to your business? What are the skills that you require? The world, the globe has shifted from a labor-based economy to a skill-based economy. Gone are the times people come to work and what they clock in is the time they've worked. While it's important to clock in the hours you've worked, it's also important to clock in what you have done within those hours. In today's world, performance management is not measured by probably seeing you or being everywhere. It is measured by the results that you're able to produce. Even those within the human resource system understand this critically today. And so create your own CV. What are the things you would want to know of this person? What are the things that you would require of this person? Create your CV typified to answer those questions. Stop asking for generic CVs. They waste your time. Because after you have received those CVs, you still need to ask questions. So why then did you collect those CVs? Create your own CV. I would say you can add a video CV. Why? This would shorten the time you need to interview this person. You would have seen this person speak. You would have heard this person. You would have seen how this person looks. For you to decide if this is the kind of person you would want to employ. Remember that for you to employ, you basically will be checking for three things. You'll be checking for the results this person would deliver, the skill sets this person has, tied to the job you want this person to come and do, your culture, in alignment also with your vision. The vision of the people would always determine what their work culture would be. Is it a very fast-paced organization? Then the people will be very fast-paced people. Is it an organization that believes that they need to take the time, they need to be a bit more detail-oriented? They may be slower than the former that I have described. What is the second thing that you probably need to look at again or rework how you do it? Your interview time. You need to reduce it. I mentioned it in the first point to say that why get a CV and then create another time to ask the same questions in that CV all over again? Does it even make sense to you? It makes little or no sense. Again, millennials are beginning to flood the workplace, the business arenas, and even the Generation Z people. Some of these people are highly impatient people, and they cannot even stand the waste of time. Even if you have all the time, you would say they are the ones that need a job, but the truth is you also need a team to drive your business. So reduce your interview time. Do everything virtually. When you're sure that this person fits the kind of person you want, you can then have a session where you have a physical contact. During these interview times, what do you do with those times exactly? There is a question I almost do not know the need for, and that question is, may we know you? May we meet you? You have a CV showing the person's name, showing the person's achievements, showing the person's records. Why do you want to hear it again physically? Like I said earlier, you could have asked all of those virtually if you must ask them. Your interview time should be a good time for you to be sure that the skill you require, this individual possesses those competencies. Everything around your interview should be speaking to the work this individual is coming to do, the vision of your organization, the culture of your organization, and any other thing that is important to you in carrying out the task. The third thing you may need to look at is the extension of that interview time, which you could call your probation period. I know for many organizations you would work with a 6 months probation period. I see some people today put a 3 months probation period. As a small business, this is a lot of time for you. You do not have the leisure, you do not have the leisure of time to spend 3 months to check out if someone is ideal for your business. That probation period should be like an extension of your interview time. The money you would lose in the long run, lose it in the interim. Keep this person or persons for 1 week on that task. The point many times is that small business owners do not even know the exact tasks they want individuals who come into their businesses to carry out. But once you're certain, if you have been able to identify what exactly you want this person to do, and the truth is it could be multiple. I would say for a small business, if you're to hire people who have multiple skills, who can do this and that, and not just this. It's good you have a specialist, but for a small business, many times, you're not able to pay people who have very specialized skills. And it would do you good if an individual can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Why? While you need to start small, grow big, you also need to stay lean even when you've grown big. It's great practice that you're able to stay lean. When an organization has too much overhead costs, the cost of that organization is not optimized, and then you would always have to you would always have to fight through to ensure that your sales are at their peak. While you may not be able to control your revenue, while you may not be able to control what the customer would pay, what the customer would do, how much the customer would consume of your products, your costs are within your locus of control, and you can do a lot about your costs. And through your costs optimization, you can drive profitability to its peak. And so why do 3 months when you can do 1 week or at most 2 weeks? And within this time, you can give stipends. So you ensure that you haven't wasted this individual's time, or you're not on the wrong side of the law. Within that short while, you're able to ascertain if this is someone you're able to keep or not. You don't need to enter long-term contracts when you're not yet certain. Enter those contracts when you have drilled to the barest minimum. I know I used the bigger enterprises as an example earlier on. The truth is, many of them also drill. They do a lot to ensure it takes them weeks, months, even years to find a right fit. So while you're trying to be dynamic, you can be very dynamic yet thorough. And in the long run, you would have saved time, you would have saved money, you would have saved your reputation. And these resources are very limited resources that you're not willing to toss. I do hope you got a thing or two. Please put it to practice the next time you need to add someone else to your team. Remember, it's an organization you're building, and you definitely will have to work with others. In another session, I would discuss communicating the vision, casting the vision of the organization, so much so that everyone is on the same speed dial. Remember, on this platform, even beyond the things that I share or teach, you can actually contribute for others to learn from. Don't forget to drop your comments. Don't forget to give me your feedback. Don't forget to ask those questions. Don't also forget to contribute. Till the next session, I'm Casey, your business buddy. See you.